The high cost of Trudeau's high-flying ways. I'm Brian Lilly with the Rebel Media. Do you remember back when Stephen Harper was in office all those years ago? Or wait, it was just about, 10 months ago? Maybe less? Back then, the idea of the government using their Challenger VIP jets, as the media likes to call them, was horrible. I mean, check out this headline from Post Media. It says, millions spent flying PM, GG, and ministers on VIP Challenger jets. This story looked at flights that Harper and other government people, such as the Governor General, took on the Challenger jets between April of 2011 and February of 2014. They found that, on average, Stephen Harper was spending about $52,000. Then look at this CBC story about how Stephen Harper went with his family to New York for Labor Day, took in a Broadway show, took in a baseball game, cost $45,000 to taxpayers, including $34,000 for the flight. People were very concerned about this in the media party back then. Not so much now. Not now that Justin Trudeau, him of the shirtless wonder, has taken over. I've looked at the flight manifests for the last several months, from December of 2015 until April 2016. That's the last month that we have access to the numbers for. And on average, Justin Trudeau is spending almost double what Stephen Harper spent. Let me go over some of the numbers with you right now. December of 2015, $88,275 just flying the Prime Minister and his entourage around. In January 2016, it was $126,057. February, $106,989. March, it was $91,806. And in April, $68,031. That's an average of $96,231 per month. As I said, almost double what Stephen Harper was spending. And yet, where are the media stories on this? Where is the outcry? It simply doesn't exist. It's lost in the endless stories of the Prime Minister showing up without a shirt on, of people slavishly worshiping at his altar, perhaps. Meanwhile, several of the flights included in this are essentially vacations for him and his family, which I don't begrudge him. And I've said time and again, if you are Prime Minister, you have security needs that nobody else does. But when it was Stephen Harper, it was a bad thing. Stephen Harper and his family barely took vacations together outside of the National Capital Region or outside of going to Calgary when he was Prime Minister, because he didn't want that cost upon the taxpayer. And yet, Justin Trudeau, in his few short months in office between December and April, there's 4 different family vacations. We've got the trip to St. Kitts over Christmas. We've got a trip to Whistler, a trip to Quebec City, a trip to Fogo Island for Easter. Some of these cost an awful lot of money. Let's go over the cost for some of those. The trip to St. Kitts for him and his family was about $30,000. The trip to Gander, so that they could then hop on a puddle jumper to Fogo Island, was $15,000, and it was about $15,000 to fly his family out to Vancouver so they could go snowboarding out in Whistler. My question is for the media party. Where are you on this? Why aren't you doing regular reports on this sort of thing? Is it because it's your boy now and so it's okay? Prime ministers, as I've said time and again, they've got special security requirements. They can't fly coach with the rest of us for many reasons. But if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. If Trudeau is the gander and Harper is the goose, then let me ask again, where are the stories? Stop just reporting on how wonderful your boy is and maybe start telling Canadians how much he's costing them. He's costing them an awful lot because he's using and abusing this privilege of the VIP Challenger jets, including, as I've already reported, sending an empty plane to Montreal to pick him up and then have his motorcade drive back empty. Also, he could save an hour of time on the flight versus driving. We've also told you about them sending 2 planes, not 1, but 2 planes. So that cost of the trip to Quebec City, it's even higher because they flew his family on 1 plane. Then that plane was sent somewhere else, and then they sent another plane, empty, a half hour later, that sat there for 3 days, waiting to bring the Trudeaus back to Ottawa. It's time for Justin to rein in his crazy spending ways, his super elite ways. It's why we've launched the petition at superelite.ca, telling him to cut it out. If you haven't signed the petition yet, Maybe this will convince you. Go sign it now, superelite.ca. Sign the petition, then share it on social media so your friends and family know what's really going on.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.